Okay.
Let's call the meeting to order. Is there anybody that I would like to welcome all our guests? Robert, I think probably you want to have a few words with us?
No, not today, senor. I'm gonna give Phil an old Mexican palm hat. He liked mine so much. Give that to Phil if you will.
Mike?
It's not a bribe, Phil.
Be sure to get that on camera because we got it now.
And if I'm not down there tomorrow, you take it down there and show those guys, all right?
So you're gonna spare us this morning, are you, Robert?
Yeah, I thought I would prepare a little packet and be a little more in-depth and give you each one. That way you can understand what I'm trying to convey.
Okay. Good luck on me understanding it. All right. The minutes of the April 4th and April 12th meeting are in your packet. I think there's one correction of the April 4th meeting. It's all you handed out. Any other additions or corrections?
I think there's a resolution on the sale of land that needs correcting. It talks about the total price, but
They already did.
They already did. We removed an acre. Yeah.
okay, great.
Yep. Right here, 3A.
On page 2.
3. Anyway, is there any other corrections or additions? Let's see if we're helping. I'm even on the wrong month.
Yeah, it's
Okay, yeah, it's on the April 4th meeting, item A, or section F, item 3. And the difference was in the total amount of money, instead of an acre, it was the whole amount. How come? Anyway, I entertain a motion to approve those minutes with that correction.
so moved.
Aaron makes a motion, George seconds, all in say aye. All in, and I'll try this again. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now, the April 12th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to April 12th? Haven't heard none.
Make a motion we approve them as printed up.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the regular, the minutes of the regular meeting of April 12th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, Lisa, do you have anything?
I do not have anything today, thank you.
Say again?
I don't have anything today.
Okay. You have something to say.
Yeah. Yes, that I do have.
Yeah, you do, yeah, okay. All right, Mary, you're on.
Good morning.
Morning.
Our first report is the investment report. I did receive an email on Monday from the Treasury Securities stating that they were suspending any reinvestment to the Treasury bonds at this time.
Our U.S. Treasury?
Are you, yes,
Really?
yes.
Huh. Does that have something to do with the debt ceiling or what?
I believe so. So at this, it usually lasts from anywhere from a month to 3 months, and then we can go ahead and start back up and make those purchases.
So we're locked into these.
Yes, we are,
Good.
yes.
Wow.
Okay, okay, all right. Did we, but we didn't have anything coming up, did we? Or did we?
We don't until June 10th.
Yeah, June 10th. All right.
What will it go to? You know?
Who knows?
It'll be lower than any of this, sure.
It can be lower. And hopefully at that time, we are able to reinvest on the treasury bills. Otherwise, we would have to probably look into the certificate of deposits.
Fed did. Fed just raised it. Okay,
The next report is our balance sheet. And at this time, we just have a few invoices that pertain to the 218,000 accounts receivable. We should be receiving that shortly. We are also in the process of sending the invoice for the 2001 contract to El Paso Water for the first and second quarter as well. Approximately 1.1 million each.
real good. All right.
Our net revenue report, we have surpassed our budget for the revenue. We are at 7.9 million. But those three invoices that will reflect in this fiscal year with the 2001 contract, it would be an additional 3.3 million. We're looking at approximately receiving 12 million for the fiscal. We will be coming back to you next month in regards to making an amendment to the budget.
Okay.
Is this largely due to licensing?
The 2001 contract is due to the water, the allocation.
On the net revenue, I have one question for you, Mary, that the very first section there, the 5,001, 3, 4, and 5, capital project, I know they're all capital projects. But we did have a budget on it, did we not, or?
Yes, we do. It's the total at the end of
That one?
on the total direct expense, they receive 1.6 million,
Okay, and year-to-date, we spent 930.
930, correct.
So then that make the over-under budget number wrong?
That would be under.
We spent 9 and we.
Correct. I'll make that correction, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, and there should be a, that's right here, okay. And on the capital projects, excuse me, on line 4,400, up above, on the income side, budget of 805, okay, those capital projects, so we haven't gotten any money yet.
Those are pertaining to our grant.
Those are pertaining to our grants, and we have
Correct.
not.
And we have not requested a drawdown from those grants at
Okay.
this time, but we are in the process and working towards doing so.
And on that total direct expense, all we did was a mathematical error there.
Correct.
Okay, like 700. Okay.
Any other questions?
I think that's all.
There is a correction on our $500 check report, line item 25. That should have been removed. That was a credit instead of an actual charge.
Are we in the $500 check request?
Yes.
A question on the number 6. Do you happen to know what the fee was for previous auditing, last year and the year before?
Last year was the first year we were with the Briones. Our fee, I believe, was about 40,000, and it pertained to setting up our company. So it involved more hours working with Benya. And the prior year with Bixler, I believe, was about 26,000.
Total.
Correct.
So the initial fund cost is like $40,000 to.
For the initial.
To change courses, so to speak.
Correct.
And what do we anticipate going forward? Would it be,
Well, for 2022, we're 22,580.
is that what that, so it's kind of back to what it
It's
used to be?
kind of back, yes, correct.
How long were we with the other one, Bixler?
Long time.
Long
Very
run.
long time, yes.
Did they dissolve?
They were here, yeah, prior then.
That's
They
when
changed.
Ray Larkin started the deal, and then we moved on to his firm. Michael Dunn took over. We had some others that weren't very good, and stuck with Ray for a lot of years. But they retired.
Number 19, is this, Sunstage, are they part of the state purchasing
It's a rental.
vendors, or was this a,
It's just a rental.
yes, I understand that, but normally we have what do you call it, a pre-approved vendor that we use for rentals. Is this one of them, or? 'Cause
Yes, they're under the co-op.
Was it-
They are under the co-op, yes, sir.
They're under, okay, that's what I
Yes.
need to.
Right now with the COVID situation, trying to find that equipment, I mean, it's very scarce, region-wide, really, so. But yeah, we're fortunate to find one.
That in parts, right?
That is parts.
You can't find them nowhere. Change their life forever, man.
We're purchasing one though, I mean, water truck, Pete's working on one,
Are you,
a water truck, right?
Yes,
we already had a water truck, did we?
we actually have, yes, we have one, but we actually have two water trucks.
Right.
The older one is a 95, and our newer one, I think, is about a 2020, maybe? No, not, like 17?
Okay.
Pero they're pretty worn down already. So, if you notice, just about every project, I'm having to rent a water truck, because every winter maintenance, I need at least two water trucks.
And I'm to assume that when you rent additional equipment, it's offset or it's paid for by either a grant or something that you're doing specifically.
That's what I try to do, yes. If I need a water truck and we got a district project and a grant project,
Right.
I'll get the rental for the grant project,
Gotcha.
yes.
Line 87 for me. Sage Software, they do what on our, which software is that?
The entire county
It's our
of the
entire,
district, correct.
it's Sage is what it's called now?
It's called Sage, yes, sir.
It
That's
used to
just-
be Timberline, I believe. at one time.
Who? Somebody
It
else.
used to be a previous.
It was Peachtree.
Or
Peachtree, there you go.
Yes.
Well, we've got, this is the whole year, right? That's a whole year paying their fees, right?
This is an annual renewal fee.
Okay,
And the license is-
yeah. Okay, that's pretty stout fee.
Well, get ready, it's, not only is it one of the most expensive softwares, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's also a renewal of that every year, about this much, to use this program. So we're basically stuck with this program for perpetuity, am I correct?
Annually this is a maintenance fee, correct? And we can switch over at any time. Granted, this is a yearly service, and I believe we would probably get reimbursed for the partial use of it. But at any time, we can switch over.
But that's not what we wanted. Once we already established all our eggs into this software, we're kind of stuck with this software. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to go into another software, I believe. I don't know.
Well, it's the same process that we went through when we switched from QuickBooks to Sage. And there is a
Quite a bit.
curve or a learning curve when you switch over to a new software. But when we decide that it's not meeting our needs, this is the time that we should be looking at a different software.
Perfect, because we're growing,
Because we're growing.
growing up into
correct.
that, we need a stronger software, I get it.
Yes.
Now, the next thing I have for us as a district, this program is so powerful that we may not be properly trained. Are we moving to the point where we're trained so we know all the bells and whistles this thing has? Or who is the one that's fully trained for this program? Is it you? Is it Al Blair? Who's the guru here for the software?
Well, it would be myself and Al. I do have Lori that works for our department as well. We still need some more training. I do believe we do, but we haven't had the opportunity to go to the conferences or the training at this time. The COVID also didn't allow us to do so.
Correct, and I understand that, but COVID is moving on. So do we have a plan for training? Does Lisa have a plan for training? Do you have a plan? And if so, are we going to implement a process for that? Because I'd like for us to take full benefit of this program going into the next year and the subsequent years, not just reacting to such a powerful program, and the only one that can probably use it would be Al or whoever's the expert on it.
We do have it, so I think when we switched with QuickBooks, I was here previously, and I think one of the main reasons was trying to incorporate the warehouse into our system and taxing. So it's very difficult the way the district's set up with the taxing, the warehouse, and the financials to have one piece of software that we can complement it all into one package, which this at the time was found to suit us best. And so in fact today we started inventory at the warehouse, so we're doing inventory, and it seemed to really streamline the warehouse and connection to our financials, so it's helped tremendously. As far as the training, yeah, we can schedule some training. I know they, like, when we first got it, you all attended quite a significant amount of training, but to say that we're using every single item that the package has to offer, no, we're not.
You're probably using all the ones that you need.
Yes.
Because everything is really functioning a whole lot better since
Yeah,
we've had this.
No, absolutely, I understand, but what I'm trying to say is, there's so much more that can be done to this, we can utilize from this program, from cost coding to time, to all these things that we're not utilizing, that we can. And then all the cost for equipment like Pete is doing can be segregated so easily, to the point where it's very easy to read.
Yes,
For us.
we have that equipment, yeah, so we have an equipment, separates the equipment cost per hour, gas, and I mean, so all that is, we are utilizing that in Sage today, but yes, so
I'm just
we're
looking
working
for-
towards it.
Yeah, work in progress, I'd just like to see the progress going forward on the training.
Well, it's always dynamic, I think, Miguel, that anything you do, things change and you have to adjust, and that's just part of it now. I think we've done a pretty good job at that, and surely you're very correct in saying we need to take advantage of everything that we possibly can. But it sure seems to work a whole lot better than what we had before.
We've made some strides in the last few years, significant, so.
And it'll change, I mean, everything does. Okay. Anything else, Mary?
Maybe number 84, what are the water season packages, those we mail out to each subscriber, I guess, right? Or how's that?
The packets are sent out to the alcaldes, and it lets them know that they have a deadline to either call and confirm that they're going to be the alcalde, because if we don't confirm, then we don't unlock the turnout. So we sent that out on the 12th of April, and
So this postage of that much is for just the
2,000?
holidays?
Oh, no, that's for the whole year. Oh, no, that's just for the whole year, because we have water statements every month. We had the packages, which was alone, the packets were just over 2,000.
And then small track letter.
And the small track was, I think it was 17, if I'm not mistaken. But that's for all my monthly thing for the year.
We can get you a breakdown, so. You
No, I'm just wondering exactly what it was.
It's just packages and
So,
paper.
postage.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, no, on number 77, I know it's been explained to me once, but.
It's a maintenance, the
Maintenance on
Elephant
the-
Butte, it's 43% cost share between EBID and us. This is a quarterly payment, the contract for the Bureau that we pay for the dam expenses,
Maintenance.
operation and maintenance.
You have to pay your share.
Share.
Always, you know, and so the way they calculate it, don't go there.
Yes,
You get a good deal on
we
it.
went to a meeting, they showed us a breakdown and all that's inclusive, and, yeah, it's all there, and it's worth every single dollar, so.
Okay, again, I missed that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Mary? And Maria? Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, yeah, I was just gonna, if there were any questions more on that, yeah, it's, even though we've paid out
I know what it was.
on our repayment contract for construction, there's the ongoing O&R cost associated with the project and the Bureau operation and maintenance of Elephant View. I was gonna take issue with Jay saying it's worth every penny. I think that's the first time I've ever heard anyone saying that the Bureau of Reclamation is a bargain.
Well, I was referring to the dam and that we have the reservoir in our water, so that's crucial in our operation.
Understood, we're kind of a captive audience.
Yeah, but Maria, you better say that because it's the only game in town.
That's right.
We give them hell, but once it's done, we live with it, so. Anyway. Okay, Mary, thank you.
Do you have any questions for the credit card report or legal one?
No, that's why I was asking, is there any other questions?
We're doing something.
A consulting.
I'm just wondering why Lisa spends so much money. No, it always find me. Anybody have any other questions? No? Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
All right, Rose, you're on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have two tax adjustments. The first one is for $20. This is an account that was not coded a reference account. There was a farm, code 2, and then we split that acreage. So those are now lots and blocks. We have broken out, but we didn't change the code from a code 2, which is a farm, to a reference account. Therefore, it created an accounting service charge of $20. The second account is for $13.04. Yearly, we do a comparison. Our records show as a central appraisal, and we found this parcel we were taxing is actually a right-of-way. It's in the corner of North Loop and Horizon. So we had to make an adjustment of that.
North Loop and where?
And Horizon.
Okay. I make the motion, we approve those adjustments as
Second.
presented.
Moved and seconded to approve your adjustment, tax adjustment for the month. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you. Our next report is the City of El Paso on behalf of Public Service Board, Lower Valley Water District, and taxes. Do you have any questions on that report? This is just for information purposes.
You'll be amazed every time I see that report. After having looked at it for years and years, how much good that's done for us.
And for them.
I know, win-win, which is very unusual.
Our next report is a comparison of the 2021 tax assessment and 2022 tax assessment. At the same time, May 2022, we were at 95.6753%. Presently, we are at 95.5571%.
Closing in.
Oh, yes, we're closing out. And we just sent out the liquid notices a few days ago. And that's all I have.
That's it.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose. Good report as always. Okay.
Thanks, Rose.
Dr. Alabama, you're on.
Okay, Last week, Congressman Gonzalez came into town on Wednesday the 3rd. He opened an office here off of Socorro Road by the Mission in Socorro at Casa Ortiz. We went to the grand opening, Lisa and I, and then he had requested through Mr. Rodrigo Estrada, his assistant, he could ride around our facility, our canal, the Riverside Canal that he's helped put forth a application for a grant and to concrete line the Riverside. So we picked him up at about 4 o'clock, and we rode down the Riverside Canal. He was able to see the canal real close, the border fence. He wanted to see the border fence and experienced it and visualized it for what it was, and it was just great to speak to, and very just down to earth, normal. He offered his assistance, anything that the district needed to reach out. It was a great meeting, and it all went well. And I'd like to recognize our CFO. She will be graduating from UTEP with her master's degree in accounting on Saturday.
All right.
Congratulations.
Good stuff. And the June meeting, I just realized earlier today, Mary and Lisa are going to be at a conference, and they get back on the 15th, which is our next scheduled board meeting on June 15th. So if you want to move it the following day, if you don't want to move it to the following week,
June, you get back on the 14th, which is the Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, June 14th.
June 14th is.
I'm sorry, that's right, Thursday. I mean Wednesday, yeah, so it's a day of the board meeting, so I was not aware. So this
Well, what
won't
would
be,
y'all rather do? I mean, you'll make that call.
if y'all, Thursday, or if you want to go up to next week, either one works for us, whatever works best for you.
15, June 15.
15th, all right, instead of Thursday.
How would that work?
Work with me.
It'll work with me too. Okay.
Maybe in Earth and somebody else.
True, that makes two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to make, you need a resolution to change it
No,
to
no,
15th.
no,
You just change
Okay,
it.
that's just information. Okay, 15th,
We were talking about the 15th?
15th, 9 o'clock, 4 3?
On Thursday.
June 15th, yeah.
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
Let's do that one day.
That's all I've got, Jim.
Okay, very good.
All right. Dr. Blair, you still present and accounted for? He disappeared.
Yes, I've got the Rio Grande Compact Committee Allocation Committee made, excuse me, the Rio Grande Project Allocation Committee made a allocation yesterday. I'll put that on the screen for you here in a second. The inflow, I don't know if there's paying attention to the news too much on the flow, but most of the snow's melting rapidly now, and we're getting about 6,000 acre feet a day into the reservoir. We expect that actually to increase, maybe as too much as 8,000, and to continue for quite a few, well over a month. It'll have its ups and downs as some of the snow melts, but the process is well underway. We expect to be able to go, we were talking last time about going to full allocation in in July, and it looks like we'll be able to do that in June based on everything. So let me go ahead and share the screen and just take a second, sorry. So currently Mexico's, as of yesterday, is at 35,095. Because of the treaty, the way the treaty works, once we have over 600,000 acre feet of usable water in storage, or has already been delivered, we're making deliveries right now to EPCWID1, that their allocation will will take a jump. It'll go to a full allocation a little bit early, almost about the same time as we will. And they'll go to 60,000 acre feet. But today they're at 35. EBAD's at 179, 958, and we're at 203, 421. We expect, with the amount of waters coming into the system, the final project allocation is in October, end of October, that we will probably be in excess of our the storage limit that we have of about 232,000 acre feet. Or we'll be close to that. So we'll be targeting for that number in terms of operations. But all very good news, all consistent with what we discussed last month. Be glad to show you some of the flood hydrographs if you want to see them. Reclamation's got a new website that's fairly convenient to look at the snow coming down, but I'll leave that up to you if you aren't interested. Be assured that there is a significant amount of water coming down into the reservoir right now. And with that, I'll answer any questions you guys may have.
Any questions, anybody? Y'all want to see the,
Yeah, I'd like to see it,
Larry?
Sure.
See the. It's been here a long time, he's never seen it.
yeah.
Yeah, I look at it every morning, so it's good. Let to share a different screen here. Can you guys see that?
No.
Yeah, come on, there we go.
It's like a straight graph.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a graph of the inflow to the reservoir. They're actually transferring water from Elton Butte into Caballo, so that's not the total amount of water that we're getting, because some of it's being transferred downstream. That's, you can see that we're gaining pretty fast there. That's a weekly chart. If we go back all the way up to the top, and I can give you this web address. This actually puts all the metering stations in one spot. So this is the snow melt up at Del Norte, pretty high up in the watershed. And of course, this is normal to see where you get, on hot days, you'll get quite a bit of runoff, and then it may cool down, and things may freeze again up at the high elevations, and then it will start again, and it's starting. So this up and down is expected, but that'll continue for quite a while. The snow report went out yesterday too. It shows that we're still above normal, even though we've had a large amount of snow melt. We're still above normal. The next one that I typically look at going downstream is really for us is Ottawa. It's the one that's involved in the compact, so it's a critical gauge. So it's down north of Albuquerque. Right now, that gauge is at. Their website's not working too well right now, so I'll have to contact Reclamation. But that gauge is at 5,220, so it's a very significant. That's actually flood stage. If they can't release, there's a regulating reservoir right below that at Cochiti, and so they're going to only release about 5,000. I'm sorry, it keeps going back to a composite graph, so that's not the graph we want to look at, but I guess I'll call Reclamation and find out why their website's not working. It was working yesterday. It's a significant amount of water. If we go and look at farther down, it's hopefully the lower ones where the water's coming in at the Narrows. I guess none of these sites are. It's about 3,000. So we're right in the middle of it. It's not going to get any higher than 5,000, but it's and of that they're consuming about 2,000 CFS in the Upper Valley and through various losses in the system. Those losses should go down as we get up. Let me see if I can find one of these other sites that may show a graph. If not, I'll have to go back to the USGS website, which does a little better job. I guess, we have been using this, right, Jay? Jay, have you had any problems with this?
It was up and running yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, it was running fine. Figures the minute that we have a board meeting that their site goes down. But, the only one that works is Alpha V storage. So, well, I guess that's the fourth one. Caballo's at about 60,000. And, it should be holding steady. It's not even showing on doing that. Right now it says they're releasing about 200 from Caballo, and that's going to the array canal system. So, any other questions I could answer?
Don't think so.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Al.
We do have the third-party construction, we're wrapping up construction, we're gonna go till Monday or Tuesday next week, within the district's canals from, contractors and third party. We got a couple of photos to show y'all. You ready, Dave? Ready.
Now, you probably have to move the camera for everybody on Zooms.
Oh, okay. Yes. Or let me share my screen. That way y'all can see it on your screen. Would you want to do that?
No, you can just move the camera, whatever's most convenient for you.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Dave.
Morning.
This is the south side feeder. We started over in the south side. This is just downstream again, continuance from last month, from 375 heading downstream towards the tail end. You can see this was on some concrete lining that was going on down there in that section that was put underground. So yeah, you can see progress on concrete lining. We got 200 feet being placed there from the discharge point of the pipe heading downstream. This is manhole number 2. This is located also just downstream from 375. That connected the portion of underground pipe there. We had a little bit of a skew there where our channel made about a 45-degree angle. There we go. One work. And then this is manhole number 1, connecting to the existing culvert there at 375. So this is going to have an access point for us and then connect it to the existing structure. Finished product there. That's the discharge point of that pipe that's been placed underground. This framework done last week. Formwork, there we go. That was the pour here Monday. This is our bridge that's going to the Bustamante project, the expansion of the water plant, license 3181 on the Riverside Canal. That's been completed as well. See, so just waiting for concrete driveways to cure, and then we will place some base material there so we can go ahead and start utilizing the new driveways. With Joe Concrete there on the right side, they've got their batch plant set up there outside the Riverside. This here is for license 3342. We had 2 directional bores there on the 1D main near the tail end. It's going to be the area over there where it meets with the Isla near Old Equitanks Road and North Loop. That's where they cross underneath the 1D main. They started pushing. This is another project we have in branch C, that's 3377 portion between North Loop to New Equitanks. Everything right there where Socorro Logistics, their new warehouses are going up. That's that entire area right there. So we've got concrete lining now from the .57 check to the .40 culvert. This was Z-Tech's doing the work. They came in here and they knocked it out quick. Phone work, rebar work. Where they connected to our existing culvert right there, looking downstream towards New Equitex. And that was the finished product on Friday. So we've got a new section, 540-foot section that was poured out in 2 weeks.
Did Z-Tech go out for bid on this thing, or we just called them up?
This was actually Catamount that had them under contract. Yeah, we had a failure there in that area. They actually have a ponding area right there just to the northeast of the left bank right there that completely failed last year during irrigation season. So they went back and basically paid for this entire repair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so completely, yeah, that was on them.
Okay, gotcha.
You can see, yeah, compared to what it used to look like, you can see that ponding area right there in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, there's your, what we had before, like I said, and then the after, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's been a busy month. Kept me busy, but that's all I got for you.
Good job.
Nice, nice
Good
presentation.
Thanks,
Engineer. Okay, we ready for Pete? Pedro.
Give me a sec, Mr. Pedro. Swap out.
Okay, so I guess I can start off with, we are gearing up already for water season next week. So I have scheduled men for the weekend, and I have scheduled some men for graveyard to support Robert with the water. So I got one of my supervisors will be going nights. I'll be moving one of my supervisors to weekends, and then I'll keep one supervisor during the day with me to oversee whatever we're doing Monday through Thursday. So we will have 24-hour coverage pretty much. And I'll start off with the mowers there. I'll go through this pretty quick, this kind of repetition. We have started all the mowers and all the units, so we do have all 7 mowers out and running. Let's see here. That's pretty fast. I'll show some mowers there. Okay. Just kind of some before and after pictures. Okay, so we're starting off with drains. These are actually the drains within the city of El Paso.
Is it working? No?
Yeah, there you go. Okay, back to the drains. Okay, these are all within the city of El Paso, so these will be under that, the contract we've got with the city of El Paso. We'll jump over to the drains on the outside the city of El Paso. This is actually the brush cutters. We hadn't used them in a while. We got them back up and running. This is down the Tornillo area where we have a lot of brush, a lot of thick brush. So we're going in there with these brush cutters to kind of tear down all those big salt cedars that pretty much tear up our equipment. And there's an after picture of the same location. And then I also got the 2 mowers, the 2 drain mowers out there, also doing some more in the Fagans area. Just a couple of before and after pictures. So this area here is right behind Acá Dominguez place. Apparently we had a major issue here where there was a lot of people partying in this area. And there's a young lady that lives on the other side of the drain, and her house got broken into, and there was sheriffs out there. So it was a royal mess. So we got in there and cleaned out that drain right by the old dairy there by in Fagans, by the Cook and Schultz. And then this triangle here is owned by the district, and it was pretty much overgrown, so they were running and hiding in this area. So we got in there and tore everything down. We just gotta start hauling the trash out of there. This is right there, right at downtown Fagans, at the head of the Tornillo. Here are the district mowers of the delivery system. All 3 pictures are on the Franklin Canal in the different units. This one here is in unit 7B, and then this one here is in 8A, and then the one going down 8B. Coming after picture. A couple of dust abatement gates. These things are, it seems to be becoming more and more popular. I just quoted 3 gates here in the Salitral that I'll be installing. The customer already came and paid. And I just got another call this morning for another 2 up in the west side, off of the Baker Avenue. This is on the Franklin Canal where the city of Socorro was doing the, I guess the bridge. Jay, is it a bridge? And the open cut.
Yes, they're gonna remove that bridge, existing bridge, and reduce the vertical curve, you know, off Alameda to go onto Passmore and out the street, so there's a new design, but, Socorro had some trouble getting the contractor on board to start, and obviously, water season came upon us, so they had gone in and done a little bit of a demolition and installed a gas line, open cut, because they were gonna come in and concrete line afterwards. So, progress didn't go as planned, so, we went in there and Pete and shotcreted it, and the city of Socorro is compensating the district for that.
Yes.